cigarettes, the wave of the future.
First of all, because of that intro, it's a new intro, right? Yeah. Because we got a new segment.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Jetsons right quick, right? Because I remember watching that show as a kid, and I guess that along with the white hairs in my beard kind of tell people I'm old as fuck.
Yeah.
But man, I think about how George Jetson was able to afford a car that he could pack up in his briefcase. I mean,
in a cloud house, like house in the clouds.
I mean, that's just like why don't we have that today? Like people talking about jetpacks. All right, jetpacks are cool, no doubt, but a fucking futuristic vehicle that I could just press a button and it just collapses into a briefcase.
Yeah, no.
Like
it's not happening.
Dude.
You get one of those doofy ass like scooters that might be like that. We don't fall on your face on it. The hoverboards.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
You look like DuckTales. So for some future stuff, I'm talking about the DuckTales robot, man. I'm talking about, right? He was like DuckTales robot and he kind of like one tire and he's like he could be like that. But like pretty much some future stuff we're going to talk about is just the future happening now, the future shock. And one of the future shock things is the fact that it's a global pandemic and happenstance. It's the change of console generation. So it landed happenstance. It happened to happen here. The console makers weren't planning that at all. But it happenstance. It happened. So Sony's making history with crazy shit happening. So one seller group snagged nearly 3,400 PlayStation 5 consoles in the retail market, not be the only place to score one after it sold out everywhere online. So pretty much there's like subscription service bot groups. So you can pay a subscription service for this bot group and they can go out there and like secure you those like exclusive sneaker releases, exclusive releases, and then you can like get it for retail and then we sell it for like gazillion dollars to people. So fortunately, like I think the sneaker app is a little more secure than like Walmart app. So things were really shitty. You had people taking dumbass photos like this with all their PlayStations.
And that's why I've been telling people in some of the gaming groups that I'm in, like the best thing for us to do is don't buy from resellers, period, and make them be stuck with, because like they're going to hold on to that stuff until long after they can return it. So if they're stuck with, 3,500 PS5s in a warehouse that they can't sell, I'm good with it. I'm 100% good with that. So
these bots were pretty much partially responsible for crashing the Walmart site when the PS5 stock replenished. So if you're like some parent or some like relative trying to get your kid or whatever, get yourself a PlayStation, you would not get in that PlayStation if you weren't paying subscription service for these bots. So
what's also crazy?
So one of them is called Creep Chief Notify, and you pay like $40 a month, and then you pretty much secure the bag every time. It pretty much waits in line for you, kind of thing. You pay for someone to virtually wait in line for you.
But what's really crazy about this though?
Yeah,
the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, both consoles are super buggy where the system, the console crashes often just doing menial tasks. Some of them have serious OSI layer flaws where the hardware and the software aren't talking and it just breaks the system. So
that's the name. Like from my own,
why not just wait until it's like all the kinks are ironed out?
Yeah,
and all the stores have a bunch of them.
Yeah, I usually wait a while before I get a PlayStation or whatever when I was doing. But now, like resellers are selling PlayStation 5s up to 1,000, up to 900, up to $900.
Higher than that.
So, yeah, we're gonna show you the next amount, which is $32,000. 87 people so far last looked at it, I guess, in this screenshot. $32,000 for a PlayStation. Whoever's paying for this, you should like give that money to the poor, but I guess you want to buy that. But so this is a report from last week, and it pretty much said that Walmart, Best Buy, all of them sold out. And the ring, it was kind of an exclusive. Reason why it was so messy because it was an exclusive release through these vendors. That's what happened. Usually, like back in the day, you can walk into your mom and pop shop and they had like a couple of PlayStations or whatever. That didn't happen this way. It happened a total kind of majority super corporate online release, partially because of the pandemic and partially because I was pre-planned ahead. So that's why it was a big mess and the bots just took over. A lot of these websites are not used to this. Usually, websites that are used to this are sneaker apps, Nike and like Adidas. They're the ones that are already kind of built secure more systems for purchasing stuff against bots and stuff. It's easy to get stuff from there. Even though people complain about sneakers app, it's still easier to get stuff than it was like 2 years ago when bots were fucking that app up.
I do have a thought.
So,
I have a hypothesis.
Yeah.
I think that some of these stores are they like this this artificial scarcity.
He said Blind Bait said PlayStation or Space Station for $32,000.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I feel I have a hypothesis. I think a lot of these online retailers and Sony, they both like this artificial scarcity that's been created.
I mean, they love it. Yeah,
people are talking about it. You know, things are gonna, you know, it's gonna make the console seem to be more popular than it is. It's going to drive traffic to the retailers' websites. Of course, they can't sell you a PS5 right now. So, hey, you know, buy this, I don't know, washer and dryer set or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the PlayStation, like the video game industry has made more money this year than last year. So
that's because everybody's stuck in the goddamn house where they should be.
So, I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, but then it's like we know where this money's going to. It's not, you know, it's not like these companies pay us taxes either. So it's a whole nother story. But Reddit consumers will pay more than 60 times the retail price for PlayStation 5 remains to be seen. But exuberant resale prices signal the intersection of a few pandemic trends. The rise of priority of gaming as well as the shift to online retail during the crisis. And we talked about before about Singles Day in China. They made over $74 billion, so mostly online.
Probably more than that by the time the final tally was counted up.
So there you have it. This is like crazy situation here when we have like, as we go into the Christmas season, it's all about shopping. It's all about Christmas shopping and like, you know.
Yeah, I haven't like I bought the PS4. I pre-ordered the PS4. What was it, like 2013? I pre-ordered the PS4. And then as soon as the PS4 Pro came out, I think I went out and got that as well. But this time around, I was just like, it really is not. I mean, they're going to give us better graphics and maybe a couple of extra frames per second, right? But the quality of the games are pretty much going to be the same. I don't need to jump on that. I can wait. So
I mean, I have a PlayStation 4 in my drawer that should like play at some point again. Catch up. Some cool games.
We can always, you know, do the streaming shit together. First of all, I got to go on a little bit of a rant. Shout out to GameStop. I got to give you all a shout out, and I hope this makes it to you guys.
Oh, GameStop.
Yeah,
GameStop
let's give a
shout out. I thought GameStop's like the villain of video games.
Let's give a shout out to GameStop. So the day before Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War was released, they were advertising on their website that they would still, even if I think I had like 2.5 hours to order it and pay extra for shipping to get it on release date the next day, right? I do the order. They say I'm supposed to get it the next day, right? It is now almost 2 weeks later, and I still don't have it in my possession. Now, anybody that knows online gaming, when a new game comes out from a series where everybody already knows how the game is played.
Quasi Spec doesn't like the video game console people who play weak-ass, blurry-ass video games on video game consoles.
So check this out, right? All right. They told me I'm supposed to get my PS4 copy of the game the next day. And now 12 days later, I still don't have it. Like, so shout out to you guys. I know that you guys have been talking about how you're struggling and you might have to declare bankruptcy. This is why you have to declare bankruptcy, because you advertise shit. I give you my money. I gave you extra money for a shitty game I don't even really want to play. And you can't seem to get me a package that is like the size of this. You can't get me
Is that the
a package the size of this fucking book? Come on, son.
That's GameStop. The place
I'm going to stop buying games from you. That's why we call you GameStop.
The place where you can bring in almost $150 worth of games
and get like $3 for it in store credit, and you get $1.17 in cash.
You said GameStop business is almost like Trump's. Yeah.
I ain't gonna argue with that. A lot of promises made, but none kept.
So speaking of promises made and not kept, we're gonna talk about the next thing, which is like the next kind of future stuff, which is like a lot of filmmakers, a lot of entertainers have to worry about this thing, which is pretty much the situation with streaming. We had this thing with Dave Chappelle, pretty much pulled down his whole show on Netflix because the reality of streaming is just strange. Like you start to realize that the revenue that these companies are making, you start to see it's not just from like their big shows that they make. It's from like reruns. It's from like like I heard that BET, they make the most revenue from pretty much reruns of Martin and like Living Single and stuff like that, not from like their original content. And with like this article pretty much breaks it down, like about how all these different channels, reason why Dave Chappelle knew that ahead of time. We knew that when they put on Dave Chappelle, people are gonna be playing that in the background while they're cooking, while they're cleaning. It's gonna be like that's what people do with these kind of shows, like Seinfeld, The Office. He knows that those people are gonna be just playing. It's almost like people buying your DVD and it's playing your DVD on loop.
Why do you think Jerry Seinfeld can pay $20 million for a cheap ass car that don't work? Because of deals like this.
So I want to scroll down to this early article that pretty much talks about like while Netflix is often heralded for its distinctive original programming, its most watched shows in 2018 were The Office and Friends, according to Nielsen, and ABC's long-running medical drama Grey's Anatomy, and CW's Supernatural. This is what get keeps the lights on Netflix. So they're losing The Office at the end of the year. So Seinfeld has secured a bigger deal. So like all these different things are happening, and now all these big networks are acquiring all these original content they knew, like The Big Bang Theory, all these different shows that they know is kind of running the background, kind of comfort shows that people watch in syndication. And Chappelle's show is one of the shows I feel like that. As soon as it got live on streaming, the memes is lit up on the internet. People just rediscovered it, or a new generation discovered it, and just saw all these memes from it just pop up again. I don't know if you noticed that, David Genius.
That's how you could tell that like Chappelle is timeless, because a lot of the cultural references he's making is going on 20 years old. Remember, and here's one of those things that gives me the chills. Yeah. Messiah and I started our friendship when the episode of the Piss on You and the Piss on You remix episode, that is like the first time where like I think me and Messiah actually hung out, because remember we had that little TV area, like this little communal area in the shelter we were living in. And this is how I think I found out about Chappelle's show through Messiah. And they had of course Messiah was reprising the role of rapist Kelly in a music video. And I'm not sure I've ever laughed that hard since then. I think I did serious internal damage to my organs from watching that. And that's literally how Messiah and I became friends, was because of that episode when it premiered on Comedy Central.
Yeah, because like Quasi Spec is saying, like they're saying that Deep Space Nine is kind of like their watch through. Everyone. I did DS9.
Yeah, I did the whole thing on Netflix last year before the Rona.
Yeah, so like there's all these different shows that like they know that like all like it's not like Stranger Things or like whatever. Those are not like the shows. You're not gonna put Stranger Things on over and over again. You're not gonna put these other Netflix shows or the Ozarks over and over again. Those are really intense kind of dramatic shows. What people going is kind of these poppy early 2000s, 90s shows that people love. So like I think the networks know that. They already been knew that, so they're all calling all their stuff away. And Chappelle's is part of that thing when he said that thing about how he felt like he was being treated more than his great grandfather was a slave, because of the situation, because he was left out of this deal, pretty much. Whatever context of that. But this article pretty much gives you background of like why would Dave Chappelle say that on television, pretty much on Saturday Night Live, and then Netflix reacts in that way. So that's the some future stuff. Check us out on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Thanks for commenting, leaving the comments and chatting with us. I really love the engagement, what's going on, and check out clips on YouTube with act.tv. We have over 44,000 subscribers, and check us out. And then Dr. Virginius, he games on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube.
When they fucking deliver my goddamn game, which I still don't have.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets back on there soon. Check out his stream, and that's some future stuff.